Hello, Vasayo family. Eric Worre here, and I just want to congratulate you. 2020 was an interesting year. 2021 is set up to be the perfect year for network marketing. I think people are going to look back to this moment in time and wish that they had the opportunity to provide a solution for people who want to be able to work from home. You have that opportunity. You're in the right place at the right time. The company's done an amazing job. I've always been a fan of Dallin and what he's done over the course of his career. And I told him earlier, a few months back, how impressed I was with him to do it again, to set up something big and do it again, is something that I highly respect. And it lets me know that his heart and his vision is not about him. It's about you and the lives that you can touch. There is no doubt that 2021 is going to be spectacular. None. For Vasayo, for the company, for the leaders. The only thing that's in doubt is, what are you going to do? Because I learned a long time ago that you might find yourself in the magical situation. You might be in the right place at the right time. And sometimes when you're in the right place at the right time, your income might take a lucky jump. You might start to earn more than you're worth. And when that happens, my strongest suggestion is for you to work as hard as you can to become spectacular, to become a better leader, to become stronger. Because if you don't, then the income, once it takes the lucky jump, will come down to the level of value that you're bringing to the marketplace. It's all about the level of value that you're bringing to the marketplace. Here's the greatest thing that I came to know about our profession is, and it's several things, but it leads to the same conclusion. One, this profession will be patient with you. You're not going to get kicked out if you make a mistake. I mean, as long as you follow the company's policies, procedures, you don't have any worries at all. You can go as slow as you want to go. Fast, slow, make all the mistakes in the world. You can do all the different things, and this profession will be patient with you while you develop yourself into a better leader. Number two is you get to earn what you are. And so long as you continue to get better, you can continue to earn more. It's a magical thing for me. I started off in this profession when I was 23 years old. I had a lot of jobs prior to getting involved in this profession. I barely escaped high school. I was nobody's prize. You've heard the stories about people rags to riches. I was one of those stories. And what happened with me is I got involved. I hoped to get lucky. And then I realized it wasn't about luck. And eventually I started to shake off some bad habits. I started to improve myself. And I started to be able to create a career in this profession. So I want to cover 5 big categories today. Category number 1. Network marketing isn't perfect. It's got its challenges. It's judged for sure. Most people in the world don't understand it. It's misunderstood. I tell people there's a little bit of a catch to network marketing. And the catch is this: you have to be willing to accept the loss of social esteem from ignorant people. Uneducated people might think less of you for a season while you're making this choice to be involved in network marketing. But like anything revolutionary, anything that it takes people's abilities and gives them a quantum leap, like Arthur Schopenhauer, the German philosopher, said, all truth goes through 3 stages. First, it's ridiculed. Second, it's violently opposed. And third, it's accepted as self-evident. And a lot of people want to wait until things become self-evident before they get involved. But all the money from an entrepreneurial sense is getting involved when things are laughed at and when they are violently opposed. So, network marketing isn't perfect. It is judged. It's emotional. Isn't it kind of surprising how emotional network marketing is? I mean, you thought, wow, I didn't feel all these emotions in my normal job. Well, you're only doing a function in that job. This is, you are the business. It's lonely at times, frustrating at times. It's not perfect. But if you have an entrepreneurial bone in your body, it's better. It's better than any form of entrepreneurship for the average person that exists in the world. You take the ridiculously low amount of risk involved. You take the sweat equity that you can put in and the flexibility. You take the upside that is enormous. Your imagination is your only limitation. You add all that together. I will debate anyone at any time around the world, including all the network marketing critics, which they run away from me. They don't want to have nothing to do with me. I will debate anyone as far as what this provides, risk, reward, support, personal growth, versus any other entrepreneurial venture. Nothing compares. That's why I say all the time, we have a better way. It's not perfect, but it is better. So, first thing I want you to understand is, people ask me all the time, why network marketing and what company should I choose? So I tell them all the traditional things about why network marketing. Why is it better? The flexibility, the low risk, the high return, the amount of support, the amount of personal growth that you're going to encounter, the lives you're going to be able to touch, all these different things, right? And then I tell them, how do you pick a company? So I want you to put this through the filter of your organization. Okay, you ready? 5 elements to choosing a company. And when I go through these 5, I think you're going to feel confident that you've made the right choice. Number 1 is the products. You need to ask a number of questions when you take a look at the products connected with the company. Question number 1, is there a need for the products? Is there a need for the Vasayo product line? Is there a need in the marketplace? If the answer is yes to that question, the second question is, does the product fill the need? I think you can say yes. Third question, is the product priced for the marketplace? In other words, is it competitive in relation to the value that it brings? Right? And fourth question is it priced for profit? Is there enough margin so the distributors can make money, the company can make money, and the customer gets a fair value for the quality that they receive? So that's how you take a look at the product side of a company and take a look at what that does for you. Second thing is take a look at the company itself. And with this, all you got to do is to look at your leaders, your founders, your management team. Can you bet on them? Have they had success in the past? Have they had to go through adversity? Have they come out on the other side? Do they have a track record? Say you want to take a look at somebody's future, take a look at where they come from. Well, that should answer most of the questions you would have when it comes to taking a look at a company. Third thing you need to take a look at is the compensation structure. And you know your compensation structure, but here's what's necessary for big growth. A person needs to be able to make money fast. A part-time person with a serious effort needs to be able to make a predictable, reasonable income for that part-time effort. And there needs to be a big upside for those that choose to go huge, build a huge business. So do those 3 situations exist in your compensation plan? I think they do. Fourth thing you need to take a look at is support. What kind of support is available? Do they have events? Do they have training? Do they have back office? Do they have recognition programs? Do they have incentives? What kind of support is available? Pretty good list for you, right? Is it starting to look pretty good? You made a good choice? Fifth thing to take a look at is timing. And with this situation, I think you found yourself in an incredible timing situation, because the perfect timing situation is when the risk has been sucked out. There's not enormous risk, but there's still huge upside. It's not a massive company yet. So your founders, your management team, product line, everything else has already taken the risk out. Bet on them, you're going to be good. Like in most investments, in most companies, whatever, you're looking to invest in the team. Who's the team? So you do that, and then you're still reasonably small in comparison to what the management team has experienced in the past and what you could experience in the future. So if you can position yourself there when not very many people know about the company, not very many people have heard the story, you can get out there and start telling the story to more people. Whoever tells the story to the most people is going to win. You've got an incredible opportunity. If you walk up and down the street and you say, have you ever heard of Amway? What's the answer going to be? It's going to be a lot of that you have to dig through. But if you walk up and down the street and say to 100,000 people,
have you ever heard of Vasayo?
What percent? 2, 1, 0.5, 0.1, if that? That means you have a job to be able to go educate the world. And an opportunity, when that world becomes educated, to be able to profit from all the product that moves through it. So all that to say, network marketing isn't perfect, but it is better. You've chosen a great vehicle. Now it's time to take a look at area number 2, bucket number 2. If you're going to do this, decide to be a professional. Decide to go pro. The world is filled with people who join network marketing for the wrong reasons. I was one of them. I can tell you the moment that most people decide to join their network marketing business, the moment is when the candidate list in their mind becomes long enough of people that they think will probably do this. My brother will probably do it. I got this other friend that would probably do it. My other friend, she's amazing. I think she'd probably do it. I've got another entrepreneur. Once that list gets long enough, so your risk is kind of eliminated, people say, okay, here's my credit card. Either list of customers or list of distributors in their mind gets long enough, I'm ready to join. Too many people, and I think we pitch this a little bit like a lottery ticket. It's easy, it's free, and everybody wins, and all that stuff's not true, of course. It takes hard work. This is not magic beans. But when it's pitched like a lottery ticket, scratch off, see if you win, get some people involved, product sells itself. You start doing all that stuff, guess what happens? Expectations are so high that if people don't get somebody else to join really quick, they're gone. So, don't treat it like a lottery ticket. Don't treat it like something for nothing. Treat this like a profession, like a career. Give it some respect. Set proper expectations in the marketplace. Don't overhype your products. Don't overhype the opportunity. Yes, some people are winning. Not everybody does. Yes, the product is amazing when a person becomes educated, but the product doesn't sell itself. That's why we pay you. Yes, you can build a team and it can grow and grow and grow, but team dynamics and learning how to be a leader is going to take some time. So setting proper expectations and building on a solid foundation without hype. Tell the best story you can, but don't set such an expectation that when they join and it isn't all sunshine and rainbows, that they quit. And I would ask you this, what's a more credible story? Join our company. It's easy. It's fast. Everybody wins. The product sells itself. You can be rich in no time. That's one story. Or sell a story of, we have an opportunity for people to go into business for themselves. We've got an incredible product line, an incredible compensation plan, corporate team, and support. But here's the truth. You're going to, instead of investing a lot of money, you're going to have to put in some sweat equity. You're going to have to learn a new business, and it's going to take some time. And you might have to work your butt off for a while in order to be able to get it to work. Like most entrepreneurial endeavors, you're going to get underpaid for a significant period of time. You'll be fairly paid for a short period of time, and then you get to be overpaid for a long time. Are you willing to trade underpaid for overpaid? Which of these two stories is more credible? This one. This one. It's hard work, but it's worth it. It's the companies that are going out there and building massive customer bases and telling a story of responsible entrepreneurship are growing steadily every month, every year, like clockwork. The ones that are, it's free, it's easy, everybody join because it's magical money and all you got to do is be involved. Those ones, pop and drop, pop and drop, pop and drop, pop and drop. So if you're going to do it, number one, network marketing isn't perfect, but it's better. Number two, if you're going to do it, decide to be a professional. Number three, like any profession, there are some skills that you need to develop. They're not impossible, but they need to be developed. You can't expect the company to do everything for you. If the company did everything for you, they wouldn't need you and they wouldn't pay you. Guess what you get paid for? Value that you bring to the company. Sales that you bring to the company. Commissionable volume that you bring to the company. Guess how you bring those values? You bring it through skills. Timing and positioning, yes, it's wonderful. A lot of people say, I'd rather be lucky than good. Maybe I could just sign up some magical people. They'll do everything for me. I reject that notion and say, I'd rather be good than lucky. I don't need to be lucky. Once you develop these simple skills, you never have to worry about your earning power for the rest of your life. Never. You're good. I talk about it in the book GoPro. I don't know if you read this book. Glare, glare, glare. 7 fundamental skills. 7. Skill number 1, finding prospects. Going out and finding people to talk to about the product and the opportunity. When I first got involved, I didn't think that was a skill. I thought you either knew a lot of people or you didn't. If you're in a small town, you're screwed. If you just were an introvert, there's no chance. But I realized a few things. I realized finding prospects was a skill. The top earners, guess what they did? They collected friends as part of their living. They were always seeking out people to build relationship with. They were constantly adding people to their prospect list. They were absolute pros. They always had more prospects than they had time to connect with them. So decide that you're going to become world-class at finding prospects. And with social media and the way we live in the world today, it's not that hard. If you just take your phone, your email, and your social media contacts, that as a start of your list, and then use social media to friend up 5 to 10 people a day that have similar interests to you, then ask all those people who they know, find out who they know. You've got a list of thousands to be able to talk to. So finding prospects, at the beginning, I made my little list of what I had, I ran out and I panicked. And I finally had some of my mentors sit me down and say, Eric, just breathe. This is a skill. I said, yes, but I'm running out. And they said, Eric, let me tell you a secret. If you take the top earners in network marketing, most of the distributors that they personally enrolled, they met after they joined their network marketing company. I'm like, what? No. They knew a lot of people. They had a big list, and that's how they're rich. They said, go ask them. So I have, and I would encourage you to do the same. Ask your top earners in your company what percentage or what's the total number of personal recruits that they brought in? How many of them did they know prior to joining your company? And how many did they meet after? And what you're going to find is it's 80 to 95, 98%. They met after, which means this is a skill. This is something you need to develop. So learn how to consciously be adding people to your list on a daily basis, at least 2 every single day, and make this part of your skill set, how you network in the world. Okay? That's skill number 1. Skill number 2 is inviting. When I got involved in network marketing, I was like, well, everybody will at least take a look. Everybody will at least want to learn a little bit about my product if I invite them to. Nope. People ran away. Hey, I have this product, not interested. You don't even know what it is. You're still not interested. Or, hey, I've got a business opportunity. I'm busy. I'm good. Well, can I at least show it to you? No, I'm good. Not interested. I'm fine. So I learned that inviting people to take a look was a skill. And it's what I call the gateway skill in our profession. Because if you can't get people to take a look, it's over. I mean, our job is not to sell, it's not to recruit. You know what our job is? To educate. That's our job, to educate people to the point that they understand what we have. Your job is to educate people on your products and services. Your job is to educate people about the financial opportunity connected with becoming a distributor with your company. That's your job. Education and understanding. Now, you can't educate somebody if you can't get them to take a look. So I learned how to invite. And that's a skill that you need to set a goal. This year, you're going to learn how to invite. Not only how to find prospects, but how do you invite them to take a look? How do you get them to watch a video? How do you get them to hear the story? How do you get them to join and watch the Zoom? I talk about it in the book. I don't have a lot of time today. I'm going to give you some of the skills, and if I have some more time, I'll give that to you. But I will just say, people can judge your intentions. If you're just like super, super aggressive, like you're a predator, like you're trying to hunt, I'm looking for a rabbit. Got one. Your prospects can feel that. But if your goal is to educate them, hey, I want you to know about what this is. I just want you to get the facts and understand what I have. And look, if it's not for you after you understand it, cool. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's wired to be entrepreneurial. It's okay. But my job is to help you understand it. So let me invite you to this or this or this or this in order to help them understand it. They'll feel completely different if you're trying to help educate them versus you're trying to get them. You're trying to bag them. You're trying to shoot them, right? Like they're the prize. You got the gift. They don't have the gift. You got the gift. You're just here to educate. Just imagine it's like they're in the matrix. You're trying to educate them to help them escape the matrix. Many of them are going to fight you. No, matrix doesn't exist. Okay, fine. Can I give you some facts? Can I give you some information? Can I show you some things? Okay, so 1, finding prospects. 2 is inviting. Third skill that you need to master to have a big, long, successful career in network marketing is presenting. How do you tell the story? And there's 2 different ways that you present what you have. One is you telling the story yourself. Let me tell you all the facts. And the second is using third party whenever possible. And what I mean by third party is this. If you go to a prospect and you say, let me tell you everything I know, this, and this, they might not respect you in this area of business. So they have to get through the filter of you. Third party is anything that's not you. Can I invite you to this Zoom? Can I have you listen in? Can I have you go through this PowerPoint or watch this video or attend this online event or whatever it happens to be? Can I put you on the phone or chat with somebody who's much more educated than I am? Third-party presentation is going to give you more scale and duplication. The only time you should be doing first-party presentations is when you are being an expert for one of your team members' prospects. Other than that, learn to tell stories, learn to point, read, introduce, and tell stories. People ask you a question, point. Oh, we have this Zoom over here that we can connect you with that'll answer that. Read, well, in the policy, it tells us this, and here's what it says in the compensation plan. Introduce, let me introduce you to this cool, Facebook page, or let me introduce you to this leader that's really smart. And tell stories. Tell your story, tell other people's stories. So presentation's critical, but try to get yourself out of the way. Okay? Number four is anything worthwhile takes time. We live in an instant gratification society. And somehow, forget that. I skipped ahead a whole different thing. Finding prospects, inviting prospects, presenting to prospects. Number 4 is closing. I'm all over the place. Number 4 is follow-up. Most people don't make a decision after one exposure. It's going to take 4 to 6 exposures on average for a person to make a decision. So learn to keep the conversation going. All business is conversation. You want to start as many conversations with prospects as you can. You want to keep them going. Keep exposing them to new things. Expose them to a new product. Invite them to a Zoom. Add them to a Facebook group. Connect them with a friend. Follow up. Updates, new products, anything. Just stay in conversation with them. It takes typically 4 to 6 exposures for a person to make a decision to join. So don't expect them to join in one exposure. Follow-up's critical, okay? You're going to learn how to answer some questions and overcome objections during that period of time. But follow-up is, in short, keeping the conversation going. So to recap before I went off the rails there, finding prospects, inviting, presenting, follow-up. Next skill is closing. How do you help a person make a decision? Do you have a lot of people who are just thinking about it? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. So I'll give you a very quick tutorial on how to close. Ready? I'm going to give you 6 questions to ask. They sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's very simple. You can put it to memory very quickly. But question number 1 is this. At the end of every presentation, the first question out of your mouth should be, what did you like best about what you just saw? What did you like best about the video? What did you like best about the conversation with my leader? What did you like best about the Zoom? What did you like best about that Facebook group? What did you like best about the website? What did you like best about trying the product? It's infinitely a better question than what do you think? What did you like best? This forces the prospect to go into their mind and think of something good. What did you like best? Tell me. They'll give you something. They say, I don't know. What? If you did know, what would be something that stands out with what you just saw? What did you like best? Question number 1. Got it? Pretty easy to remember, right? Question number 2, on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you have absolutely zero interest. 10, you're ready to get involved with us and build something great. Where are you right now? Just after this little look, give me an idea. You're going to get lots of 5s and 6s and 7s. If they say 6 or 7, they're joining. But let me give you a quick tip. Anything over a 1 is good. If they say, hey, I'm a 2, what does that say? They're not saying they're out, but what they are saying is they're skeptical and it's going to take some more exposures. The higher the number, the less exposures you're going to need for them to be able to pull the trigger and go. The lower the number, the more exposures you're going to need, but it's okay. So let's say they give you a 5. What'd you like best? The residual income part. I found that interesting. Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I'm a 5. Right in the middle. Okay, question number 3. Hypothetically, if you decided to get involved with our company, how much would you need to make realistically part-time per month in order for this to be worth your time? Hypothetically, I'm not saying you're joining, all right? I know you just said you're a 5. But if you did get involved, how much would you need to earn per month in order for this to be worth your time, realistically? Okay? Some key words there. The hypothetically off the record, just between you and me. I'm not holding you to it. It's important. And how much would you need to earn for this to be worth your time is also important. Because everybody has a number that's worth their time. Everybody has a number that's worth their time. Okay? Not everybody wants to start a business. Not everybody, whatever, but they all have a number that would be worth their time. So, what'd you like best? Scale of 1 to 10. What would you need to make this worth your time per month? Okay? Question number 4. Let's say they say $2,000. $2,000 a month. Cool. Realistically, how many hours a week could you commit to developing a $2,000 monthly income? So hours per week is what? Question number 4? Yeah. Hours per week. How many hours a week would it take? Could you commit to developing that income? Because you're not going to get it the first week, but might take a little bit. But how many hours could you commit to building that income stream? Question number 5. Let's say they say 15 hours. Cool. $2,000 a month, 15 hours. Fantastic. How many months would you be willing to work 15 hours a week in order to develop a $2,000 monthly income? How many months would you give it? You're going to get lots of 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 18 months sometimes. But let's say they say 9 months. Okay? So, these are not hard questions, right? But if you do this after every exposure, your business is going to grow so much faster, it's hard to even measure. What'd you like best? I like the residual income thing. Scale of 1 to 10, where are you? I'm a 5. Realistically, how much would you need to earn per month to make this worth your time? $2,000. Cool. How many hours a week could you realistically commit to developing $2,000 monthly income? 15 hours. And how many months would you be willing to work 15 focused hours while you were developing a $2,000 monthly income stream? 9 months. So, question number 6 brings it all together. So, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, if I could show you how to develop a $2,000 monthly income, working a focused 15 hours a week over the course of the next 9 months, would you be ready to get started? They're like, you know how hard it is to say no to that? Well, like, all you're doing is saying, if I can give you what you want, you ready to pull the trigger? Want to do this want to do this together? What you're going to get a lot of? Yeah, show me. And now all you got to do is pull out your compensation structure and say, okay, what rank is going to pay about $2,000 a month? Is it achievable for a person to earn it in 15 hours a week over the course of 9 months? Has it been done? What would need to be done? Could you talk to those people? Could they share with your prospect exactly what they did in order to be able to create that income? Map out with circles on a piece of paper what it would take. Show them the support system that's involved. And they may or may not still be ready. They might say, I need to talk to my spouse. I'm not sure if I have the time, blah, 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 blah. I said, yeah, I get it. But again, you like the residual income. You said $2,000 a month would be worth your time. You said you could commit 15 hours a week to developing it. And you said you could, if it could be done in 9 months. I'm telling you, those things can be true. I could prove it to you with people who've done it. And if I can lay it out to you, what do you think? Should we do this? Make sense? So these 6 questions are just gold. They're absolutely gold. They work in every language around the world. They work in every culture around the world. If you use them, you win. If you don't use them, you're going to have a much smaller total result in your business. Okay? Much smaller. Now, occasionally, some people will give you unrealistic numbers. I want to make $50,000 a month. Oh, really? How many hours are you willing to give it a week? 5. Oh, okay. And how many months are you willing to work your 5 hours a week? 3. I said, well, look, if somebody gave me those answers, and it's rare, unless we're role playing, it's not really going to happen. I'm acting more like a consultant than I am a recruiter. I'm trying to help them fit into a future that is in their best interest. So if somebody said they wanted $50,000 a month working 5 hours a week over the course of 3 months, I would say, can I ask you something? I want to help you find a solution that you're looking for. Can you give me a rough estimate of how much you're making now? If they tell me they're making $1 million a month, we can still talk. But if they tell me they're making $5,000 a month and they want to make 50 doing this, working 5 hours a week, I would say, you're willing to work full time to make $5,000 a month and you're only willing to give $50,000 a month 5 hours? So I would question, as a consultant, I would ask some questions to try and understand. But the other thing that I would do is say, look, who am I to say that you can't do it? Just because it hasn't been done in our company doesn't mean it couldn't be done. If I could show you what it would take to do it, and you could see a path to making that happen, would you be prepared to get started? So here's what it would take. You'd have to have 45 different lines of sponsorship, all at the top rank over the course of the next 90 days. Do you see a path to making that happen? Or are you willing to change one of your 3 numbers? The monthly income goal, the hours, or the months? If you're willing to change one of those 3 numbers, then we can talk a little bit more kind of pragmatically about how to help you make it happen. So I will just tell you that almost never happens. Almost never. Here's what happens a lot. What'd you like best? I like the money, or I like the product. Cool. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? I'm a 6. How much do you need to earn per month to make this worth your time, realistically? $500. How many hours a week are you willing to work to make that extra $500 a month? 10 to 20. And how many months would you be willing to give yourself working 10 to 20 hours to earn that $500 a month? 6 months, 8 months. I'd be willing to work hard and make that happen. Fantastic. Fantastic. So if I could show you how to do this, this, and this, you ready to pull the trigger? Should we go? And like I say, it's very difficult to say no to that. So, closing. Just a little short course on closing. Skill set number 5. Skill set number 6 that you need to develop is learning how to launch a new distributor. Notice I didn't say get them started. How do you launch them? Onboarding is one thing. Launching their business is another thing. Pardon me. Not Corona. Having them join you is one thing. Having them launch their business is another thing. One is kind of passive. It's kind of like student orientation. The other is like, let's go. Let's get it started. The start to a person's business is so critical. The first 90 days is so critical. You have to help them get some success quickly in order for their long-term viability to be sustainable. So think about how you can launch someone. And the fastest growing and most duplicating organizations in the world have a rigid getting started and launch plan. Onboarding and launch. Rigid, which means everybody does it the same. They've got it on a piece of paper. Pop, 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 pop. Here's what we're going to do to get you connected. Connect. And here's the launch plan. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. You have a launch plan with every new person. Your business is going to look one way. If you have a getting started plan, your business is going to look a different way. And if you just have 1,000 different plans, your business is going to be very difficult to duplicate and grow. Okay? So leaders lock in these types of strategies. So we talked about finding prospects, inviting, presenting, following up, closing, onboarding and launch. And skill set number 7 is promoting events like this. Events online, events promoting Zooms, eventually events face-to-face, home meetings when those are possible again. But events were a savior for me because when I did the event, or when I invited people to an event, the event did the work that I couldn't do. It was third party. I didn't have the answers, but the people at the event did. There was social proof involved. You could see other people were doing it. There were stories being told. It was a belief builder, credibility all over the place. So I learned what I did at the beginning is I focused on inviting people to events more than I focused on anything else because the events did the work for me. Whoever gets the most people to events ultimately is going to win. Whoever got the most people to this event today is going to win. So you could become world-class at promoting events if you choose to. And you could decide not to do that also. That's also a choice. So those are the 7 fundamental skills. So pillar number 1, network marketing isn't perfect, but it's better. Pillar number 2, if you're going to do it, decide to be a professional, decide to go pro. Pillar number 3, like any profession, there's some skills that you need to develop. Pillar number 4 is anything worthwhile takes time. Anything worthwhile takes time. You'll start a business and you will hope to get your money back in 3 years. But somehow, because of how we present a network marketing opportunity, if we're not in profit in 3 months, we're like suicidal. If it's worthwhile, if it's going to be big, it's going to take time. It's going to take time for you to build a customer base. It's going to take time for you to attract your personally enrolled leaders. It's going to take time to teach them the fundamental skills and for you to learn them yourselves. It's going to take time to duplicate that process. So it starts to move with or without you. It's going to take time to expand into different countries around the world. It's going to take time to solve the problems that arise. It's going to take time to put the systems in place that are necessary for you to succeed. All of these things take time. Okay? And you need to learn how to marry two things: patience and urgency. Can you be patient and at the same time have a huge sense of urgency? The answer is yes. I have a sense of urgency on my monthly goals, my weekly goals, my daily goals. But I'm also patient in my career. There's something that that struck me, and maybe I'm wired a little bit different. I was told early on by my leader in network marketing, never ever miss a company event. And the company I was with way back then was doing 3 big events a year. Okay? Never miss one. Now, I had no money, no skills, whatever. But I decided, you know what? If I make that decision, I'll make it happen. I'll find a way. And there's times I had to get really creative. 4 guys sleeping in the same hotel room and duct taping the minibar shut so nobody would accuse anybody else of taking stuff and not paying for it. Going to the grocery store and making bologna sandwiches instead of being able to eat the fancy food at the convention center or the hotel. There's times I had to get creative, but I always win. And I realized one truth over the course of my first couple of years. My leader pointed out to me, and then I found out it's true. Every time a company does an event, they have 100% of the people in that room. The next event, half of those people from event number 1 will come back to event number 2. Where'd the other half go? We don't know, but they're not there. And it keeps going by halves. It's like a half-life. The next event, half of that, number 2, will go to number 3. And half of that, number 3, will go to number 4. And other people will let life get in the way. So here's the patience part. I decided I was going to be the last man standing. Let them fade. I hope you do. Good luck, goodbye, farewell. I had the patience to outlast everybody because I knew if I kept coming, I would eventually earn my way into leadership and I would eventually earn my way up onto that stage. So that's one example of patience. Another one is to give yourself a little bit of grace. I mean, if you've been trained to think like an employee your whole life, and now all of a sudden you're put in these entrepreneurial waters, you have to learn to reprogram your mind. That takes some time. In the meantime, be a good soldier, follow instructions, but have the patience to know that you're going to shift your life 1% at a time until you're moving in a completely different direction. So yes, be driven on those daily, weekly, monthly goals. But give yourself grace and patience as to the development of your total self. It's hard to marry sometimes because we're so ambitious. We want to do everything. And one of the things that happens in this time thing, one of the most dangerous things for me was comparing myself to other people. Somebody else had joined, somebody else my same age, somebody else got there faster, somebody else, joined at the same time and they're moving quicker, they got a bigger group, they expanded internationally, they did this or that. I would compare myself to them and I would use it to just beat myself over the head. I'm such an idiot. Maybe something wrong with me. Here's the thing. When it comes to time, you don't know the journey that they've been going through up until the moment that they joined the company. You don't know what chapter they're on in this entrepreneurial journey. Maybe they're on chapter 10 and you're on chapter 1. Maybe you're on chapter 10 and they're on chapter 27. I learned the delicate balance of using competitive comparison when it served me and releasing it when it hurt me. So in other words, if there was somebody that, I can't let them get to that rank before I do, and it was useful for me, it drove me, then great. But if I felt helpless, that they were too far and I started feeling worse about myself, I would release it and find a different, more believable to me target that I could hit, and something that would be constructive for me. So learn in this time game, learn in this comparison game to use what's useful and to release what's hurtful. And you can tell the difference. I mean, if you think about another person that you're comparing with, if it charges you up to do more, then it's useful. If it deflates you, depresses you, makes you feel bad about yourself, then it's hurtful. So find the ones that are useful and release the ones that are hurtful. But anything worthwhile takes time. I have a formula called the 1-3-5-7. I'll give it to you. It's going to take you about a year of consistent part-time effort for you to be competent, right? And profitable. In other words, you've got a net profit when it takes everything into consideration. A year, 1 year, to be competent and profitable. It's going to take you approximately 3 years of consistent effort for you to replace whatever income you're earning now, on average. It's going to take approximately 5 years for you to become a significant, maybe multiple six-figure earner. And it's going to take you about 7 years to become world-class. 7 years from today, you could become world-class. And once you're world-class, I just got to tell you, you never have to worry about paying your bills again. Never. The moment I became world-class in network marketing, luck was not a factor in my life. Magical contacts was not a factor. Somebody treating me fairly or unfairly was not a factor. I had the skills. I was world-class at this thing. You can drop me with a parachute anywhere in the world. I quickly build an organization just because I knew how to do it. That could be true for you too. In the meantime, follow instructions. In the meantime, give yourself grace. In the meantime, short-term goals are very empowering and motivating, right? So, but give yourself time. Anything worthwhile takes time. So, network marketing isn't perfect, but it's better. If you're going to do it, be a professional. Like any profession, there's skills you need to develop. Anything worthwhile takes time. And finally, it's worth it. I promise you, if you stay the course, it's worth it. It's worth it for the career you're going to be able to create, the profession you're going to be able to master. It's worth it for the income you're going to be able to achieve. It's worth it for the things you're going to be able to do for your family. It's worth it for the friends you're going to be able to meet. How often do you get to spend time with positive people all the time? Goal-oriented people all the time, encouraging people all the time. The friendships that you'll meet in this profession are priceless. It's worth it for the lives you're going to be able to touch through your products and your opportunity. It's worth it for the sights you're going to be able to see, the causes you're going to be able to contribute to. But mostly, it's worth it for the person you're going to have to become in the pursuit of becoming a professional here. If I'm candid with you, you ever hear about the grinding wheel? Remember those old-fashioned grinding wheels? They'd take an old lumpy piece of metal and they'd start the grinding wheel and they'd start to grind it down, and turn it into something beautiful. When I joined network marketing, I was a lumpy piece of metal with all kinds of limiting beliefs, all kinds of bad habits, all kinds of viruses in my brain, all kinds of blame and lashing out and focusing on others instead of focusing on myself. And I was this lumpy piece of metal with every excuse in the world. network marketing was the grinding wheel. And it ground on me and ground on me and ground on me. And at first it was uncomfortable. And at first it was raw. And at first it was like annoying and emotional. But eventually, you know what I did? I leaned into it. And I let it grind and let it grind and let it grind. And it created a life for me. It caused me to be the person that I was meant to be. It's still grinding on me today. I still am working on getting better today. I'm 56 years old. I started when I was 23. So what is that? 33 years? 33 years of grinding. You can get better. You can improve. You can be a better leader. You can think bigger. I had one of the biggest lessons of my life this last year as far as the power of thinking bigger. It's impossible to even measure. I had a particular goal this last year that was literally, there was no way to do it. It was so big. And Marina and I decided to do it anyway. We couldn't afford it. We didn't have the expertise, didn't have the knowledge, didn't have the team. Time frame was completely outrageous, and we did it anyway. We shocked every single person. And I could have said yes to that type of thinking years ago. What was causing me to think so small and play so small? I got a bigger future than this. And now where my thinking's going is enormous. But back to the grinding wheel. Grinding, grinding, grinding. Me leaning in. Grinding, grinding. And it's going to feel raw at first for you. And it's going to feel emotional at first for you. And it might even be hurtful at first for you. But I promise you, the moment when you just lean in and let it do what it needs to do is the moment when you're going to see compound interest in your own life. So I want to give you 3 things to wrap up. 2021 is going to be amazing, but you need to be amazing. Your company's going to break records, but you need to break records. 3 things for you. Maybe write them down if you're taking notes. 1, you need to think bigger. Whatever your goals are, you need to double them and double them again. You need to shorten the time frame. You need to stop being a tourist and step into your future. The world is not served by you playing small. Stop playing small. Think bigger. Think bigger than you ever even gave yourself permission to think before. Your breakthrough is on the other side of that thinking. Number 2, you need to be stronger. Stop pretending that you're weak because you're not. Stop dimming your light so somebody else feels comfortable. Be stronger. You got this. Put your shoulders back, your chest out, your chin up. Say, guess what, life? Bring it. I've got this. Be stronger. Solve the problems yourself. Don't just give problems to other people. Be stronger in the face of adversity. Be stronger in the face of change. Be stronger in the face of challenges. Be stronger for your team. Be stronger for your family. Be stronger for yourself. It's in you. Just step into it. So think bigger. Be stronger. And finally, you need to move faster. Success loves speed. Go faster. The turtle should not be your hero. A lot of people say, well, slow and steady wins the race. No. In network marketing, slow and steady starves you to death. The turtle gets run over by a truck. Okay? You want to get across the road? Be the turtle and get run over. How many turtles do you see run over on the truck by a truck? You don't see very many rabbits getting run over. You got to run. Now's the time to run. And then walk, gather some strength, and then run again. And then walk. The whole inch by inch, it's a cinch. All that stuff is nonsense. Yes, be patient in the long term, but be urgent in the short term. Do it now. If there's a rank you need to requalify for, because you qualified before and you haven't qualified since, get it done. Now. This month, next month, get it done. If there's a goal rank for this year, get it done by June. Move. If you're going to recruit 20 people or 40 people this year, get it done now. Don't wait till the end of the year. Whatever it is, success loves speed. So, number 1, think bigger. Number 2, be stronger. Number 3, move faster. The world is waiting for you to step into your full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, I just got to tell you, I'm proud of each and every one of you. I'm proud of what your company is doing. And the future is bright, but you got to make it so. Have a great one. Have the great rest of your conference. And I hope to see you soon in person. Take care.